All right, everybody. High Rev 90. It's laid up. We got about four layers on there. I'm gonna lay up this area here. I'm gonna lay up another strip right around there. But we're good. Nice form. That there is in particular a piece of watercolor container, so I could get that recess I was looking for. Trick of the trade. Oh, by the way, here's another trick of the trade. See this plexiglass? Not sure if I said it. Go to your local golf course and see if they got any busted up ones. You get plenty of plexiglass there. I've got as of right now, kind of slow at work, but I do golf cart mechanics. So I got these from work before we threw them away. So I knew exactly what I was going to use them for. There's my freaking table. Spray it with mold release. You got a good working table, because polyester ain't going to stick. Neither does epoxy. Epoxy don't stick to nothing. No, let me rephrase that. Nothing sticks to polypropylene unless you got heat and polypropylene. A torch and polypropylene, that's what you're going to get. So, and I think this is acrylic, but the resin ain't going to stick, especially when you already got mold release on there. Trick of the trade. As this thing is kicking off, it's getting ready to kick off. You go get your pusher, you're going to push under like so and get it formed as nice as possible. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. Popping your bubbles, dabbing your bubbles. Down here, you're going to get all in your edge. That way you get your perfect form. You're going to go like so. That way you're formed up real nice. You're getting your form as it's kicking off. It works good right at the end as it starts getting thick. I got all my bubbles popped around here. And again, this is the same technique as that chop strand stuff. But this just works and forms way easier, wets out way better. Man, don't even mess with that chop strand stuff. That's for boat floors, bro. All that chop strand stuff is for boat floors, or maybe you're doing the inside of a speaker box. This stuff is a nightmare, man. But this is tricks of the trade. I've been doing fiberglass 30 years. I've seen it all, man. I've worked with it all. I work with that stuff. That stuff is for boat floors, and so you get non-skid. After you lay it up, you paint it with some all grip or some gel coat or something. It ain't for making speaker panels, man. Even that, I mean, you can use it on the inside of your speaker boxes, and then you get the air all trapped in there, just vibrating away. Well, it works, whatever. Y'all want to make more work for yourself, go right ahead. I'm telling you, fiberglass cloth, fabric, woven fabric, not chopped strand. So, whatever. Anyway, and again, I got plenty of scraps of this stuff. Or you make your own scraps. Buy you a whole roll of fiberglass, and you're going to have tons of fiberglass for the rest of your life doing this kind of stuff. And a whole roll ain't that expensive. Shucks, a whole roll is about the cost of one of those daggone freaking kick panels. I'm not naming any brand names, but one of those molded kick panels is $200-300. Shucks, you get a whole roll of fiberglass for that. 125 yards by 30 inches wide, or 27 wide. Anyway, after it's kicking here, you're going to dab your edges. It's getting thick. Dab your edges to get your form. My black sheepdog, she made her mark in here. I got black sheepdog hair in there, but I don't care. She's more than welcome to put her mark on my piece. It's getting painted over anyway. I'm working outdoors. If you got a workshop, cool. You doing this on a Lamborghini or a Corvette, yeah, I don't think the guy ain't going to be too happy, but that's all right. What he don't know ain't going to hurt him. Cover that bad boy with some vinyl, whatever, how you guys do it. But yeah, there we go. this, pushing it down. I'm forming it. See how it's forming better, popping those little bubbles, getting it better formed and formed. There. Push it in a little bit more. Slightly under, maybe. Okay, cool. I'm happy with that. Now, this is a trick. You see how I'm up against my freaking plexiglass there? When you let this thing kick off real good, you get to the point where you can trim it with a razor blade. This is way too soon. And that's the trick about trimming this stuff with a razor blade. You're either going to be 5-10 minutes too early or 5-10 minutes too late, man. You got to catch it in that perfect window. I'm going to show you guys that, the way the fiberglass is going to look. When I go to cut it with a razor blade, I'll show you guys that. You'll see if it's too early, I'll stop. I'll come back in another 5 minutes. But you want to trim this edge. You're going to trim this edge before you try to pull this panel. You're going to have a nightmare. You got to trim the edge and then pull it up. You try to trim it, man, it's going to pop loose and do all kinds of crazy stuff. You got to cut this edge, and better you cut into your plexiglass table than you be cutting into this and ruining your piece. We'll get down those roads when we get to them. Part 2.5. We'll call this part 2.5. Kick panel build. High Rev 90. Peace. Aloha.